Do you guys hear that? It sounds like the NFL is back. It's NFL week, baby. I'm so excited. I can't wait to bring you guys my favorite betting picks for the upcoming games. We are going to have a Thursday night football special show later in the week where I'm going to give you my game side pick and my favorite player props. And then, of course, I will have the pick five, win five with the Sunday games. We'll probably have a Monday night football episode on next week, too. And we've got to figure out exactly how we want to structure the channel moving forward, if we want to separate the NFL from the MLB, if we're going to combine them both. But the bottom line is there's a lot of exciting content coming to the channel. Now, speaking of exciting content, I do apologize for missing out on yesterday's upload. I had a video live for about 45 minutes, but realized that there was a problem with the edit, and then I had to go back and make some changes and wasn't able to get it out in time. However, that video will be coming out either later today or tomorrow, and it is my full NFL season preview where I pick the record of every single team in the league and talk about the general landscape of what is to come. So if you guys are interested on my thoughts on how the season's going to unfold, or some of my favorite over and under win totals from a sports betting perspective, please check this video out. I put so much into producing it that I really want you guys to see it because I think you will genuinely enjoy it. But that is coming up in the future. What is right here, right now in the present is, of course, pick five, win five. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between. Welcome back to my daily betting show where it is my job to give you my 5 favorite plays in the sports betting world. The last time we were here in front of the camera, we went 2-3. Now, good news and bad news. The bad news is, of course, we did lose money. The good news is that we hit a plus 160 money line. So we didn't lose a unit or even more than a unit because of the juice. No, we only lost 0.7, and we will definitely take that for a 2-3 day. You know, it can always be worse. Now, we did get burned by the Astros because I thought that they were going to cover that run line. I picked them 2 days in a row. They did not do that. They actually lost both games. And then they lost yesterday as well, which I didn't even pick. Now, I wasn't going to take them for a third straight day, but either way, it's good to see that the Astros maybe not the, I don't want to call them a juggernaut, but maybe not as strong as we were once thinking. And that for that reason, we are going to avoid them today. Sorry, Astros, Rangers fans. We're not going to be talking about that game, but what we are going to talk about is 5 other picks that I've lined up for you guys. But before I give them to you, please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Like I said, we've got a super special video coming out either later today or tomorrow. We're going to have NFL content coming nonstop throughout the entire season. My favorite betting picks, insights and analysis, betting previews for every single game in week 1. It's going to be awesome. This is the place to be during the NFL season. I appreciate everybody that has already subscribed to the channel and everybody that is about to. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into my first pick of today's video. I'm going to take the Chicago Cubs money line versus the San Francisco Giants. Justin Steele on the mound for the Cubs here. He is 15-3 with a 2.69 ERA and a 1.17 WHIP. Taking on Logan Webb of the Giants, who's 9-11 with a 3.49 ERA and a 1.10 WHIP. Now, Webb has been really good this season. He's got a 2.51 ERA at home, which of course is excellent, but that jumps to 4.63 on the road, which is a problem when you're going against someone as consistent and dominant as Steele has been this season. Got the second best ERA and the second best record in all of baseball. Both guys are in the mid-3s for the ERA this month, so they're coming at just about the same level, but overall, we would give the advantage to Steele this year. The Cubs just scored 15 runs yesterday, so we know that the bats are hot. They get to play this game at home as well, which, as for most teams, you know, the Cubs do play better offense when they are in their home stadium, and of course, one of the most iconic stadiums in the history of baseball. The Giants' offense has been getting better as of lately, but it's still not amazing. Over the last month, I think they're second worst in scoring. Over the last 2 weeks, they're bottom 10 still, and they're only scoring 3.5 runs per game over their last 10 outings. They also scored a total of 4 runs in their last 3 days. So I'm not expecting a whole lot from them. And just with the offensive firepower we know that the Cubs possess, plus the advantage of Steele versus Webb, we are going to take the Cubs money line for the first pick. My second pick will be Blue Jays Athletics over 8.5 total runs. Now, I was considering the Blue Jays run line here. The only reason that I didn't go with it is Jose Berrios is on the mound. Now, that normally would be a strength, but despite his season numbers, which go 9-10, 3.70 ERA, 1.22 WHIP, he does have a 5.53 ERA this month. If you look at his recent game log as far as earned runs goes, it reads 5.50, 4, and then 3. Now he's taking on Ken Waldachuk, who we talk about a lot on this channel, ironically. It seems like whenever we pick against the A's, Waldachuk is always the guy on the mound. He's 2-7 with a 5.92 ERA and a 1.67 WHIP. He does have a 4.60 ERA this month. He has been getting better as the season has progressed, but getting better still means an ERA above 4.50. So we're not looking at him to be a shutdown player today. Now the A's did just sweep the Angels, and they scored 9+ runs in 2 of the 3 wins. So that tells me that they've got some confidence and they've been able to produce. They've been able to score some runs. They're also a top half scoring offense over the last 2 weeks of play. Of course, that is not a large sample size. I'm not saying they're a top half offense, period, but it does show that they are in a nice run of form. The Blue Jays have also been playing very good offense lately. Looking at their recent scoring output, it goes 7-7, 13-7, 4-6, 7-8. So a lot of runs being scored for the Blue Jays lately. They do have a very strong bullpen, which between Barrios and the bullpen, that could come back to bite us if we're looking for the over, because the A's, if we're looking for the over, the A's are going to have to score on somebody. And strong starters, strong bullpen. Bottom line, though, the Blue Jays have hit the over in 7 of their last 8. The A's have hit it in 3 of their last 4. This is maybe the best offense the A's have played all season, and the Blue Jays are hot right now. Also, the fact the Blue Jays are on the road means we are going to get a guaranteed 9 innings of offense from them. There's a high chance, a high probability the Blue Jays win this game. So it's probably going to be a full 9 innings of offense for both teams, which also helps us with the over here. This line was at 9 earlier, but it's dropped to 8.5. And at that value, I do like the over. So we're going to go Blue Jays Athletics over 8.5 runs for the second pick of the show. My third pick will be the Baltimore Orioles run line -1.5 versus the LA Angels. Grayson Rodriguez will be on the bump for the Orioles today. He's 4-3 with a 5.03 ERA and a 1.35 WHIP. And he's going against Kenny Rosenberg, who I will talk about more in just a second. But let's talk about Rodriguez. He had a pitiful start to the year, got demoted, went back down to the minor leagues. He has been back in MLB for 8 games. He has a 2.86 ERA during that stretch. He really has not had a single bad game. He's been very good, irrespective of if it's been home or away. Now, Rosenberg, the reason I didn't tell you his stats is because he only has 5 career MLB starts. 2 of them came this season. In those 5 games, he has a 5.09 ERA and a 1.75 WHIP. His stats in the minor leagues this season read 7-7 with a 4.95 ERA and a 1.51 WHIP. So very unimpressive numbers going against a guy in Grayson Rodriguez, who, like I said, has been very hot. The Orioles are also the second best team in baseball against the spread. Only the Cincinnati Reds are better. They are 83-53 against the spread. So if you just blind bet the Orioles run line every game this season, you would be up a significant amount of money. Now, they have only been just about 500 or so against the spread over the last week or two. That is one caveat that I will put out there. But they are 43-25 straight up on the road this season. Plus the fact they're on the road means we're getting those so important, highly important 9 runs of offense. The Angels have lost 10 of their last 13 games, including a recent 3-game sweep to the Athletics over the weekend. They've not been playing good baseball whatsoever, and they're going to be very dejected having just lost those 3 games to the Athletics. So we're going to capitalize with arguably the best team in the American League. We're going to go Orioles -1.5 for my third pick. My fourth pick will be another over. This time it's 9 runs, and the Padres-Phillies matchup. Taijuan Walker taking the mound for the Phillies in this one. He's 14-5 with a 4.05 ERA and a 1.31 WHIP. Rich Hill, the 43-year-old, going to get the nod for the Padres. He's 7-13 with a 5.26 ERA and a 1.50. Now, Walker, he does have good numbers. That record, especially 14-5, very good. But his ERA is 4.98 when he is on the road, which, of course, not the best. He also has a 4.76 ERA this month, and he doesn't have a shutout in his last 12 games. Now, during that same 12-game stretch, he has yet to give up more than 4 earned runs. So it's not as if he's been awful, but he has not shown an ability to, shut down opposing offenses. And when you look at what the Padres have, of course they are inconsistent, but we know the talent they've got. Juan Soto has hit a home run in 3 straight games. It's definitely something that if he doesn't have that that punch out, that top level ability, then he could struggle. Now, Hill, this is a guy we really like as far as the over goes, because in 5 games with the Padres since being acquired via trade, he has an 8.50 ERA. Like I said, he's 43 years old. You can see him aging in front of your very eyes. The Phillies have scored the second most runs over the course of the last 30 days, and they have scored more runs than every team when it comes to a per game basis during that same stretch. The Padres don't rank as highly, but they do play much better at home. This game is, of course, in San Diego. They just won 3 straight games versus the Giants, and they averaged nearly 6 runs per game during the process. They are still scoring 4.5 runs per game over the last 10 outings as well. The Padres have hit the over in 6 of the last 9, and the Phillies have hit the over in 11 of their last 16. Bad pitchers, powerful offenses, trending over. So we're going to continue this and go over 9 runs for the 4th pick of the show. And now it's my 5th and final pick. Before I give it to you guys, please do me the favor, subscribe to the channel. To everybody that is a part of this community already, you guys are truly amazing. And to everybody that is thinking about joining, come on over. It's going to be really special. NFL season, like I said, going to be one for the history books. Let's talk about my 5th and final pick. It is the Tampa Bay Rays money line versus the Boston Red Sox. Aaron Savali will get to start for the Rays. He's 7-3 with a 2.64 ERA and a 1.11 WHIP, taking on Brian Bello of the Sox, who's 10-8 with a 3.57 ERA and a 1.28 WHIP. Now, Savali has not been at his best ever since he was traded from the Guardians to the Rays, but he still has a 3.55 ERA this month. And you know what? If a 3.55 is bad by your standards, then we like that. Bello has a 3.34 this month, so just about the same. He has been good recently. I don't really want to take anything away from him, and his numbers don't really drop on the road compared to when he is at home. We're not so much looking at the pitchers, though, to determine our pick, our betting pick for this matchup. The fact that Savali equals out roughly Bello is good enough for us, especially if he can do better than him. But really, we're talking about the offenses when we're talking about the Rays money line. And it's not that the Sox have a bad offense. They actually have been scoring a ton of runs as of late, but their numbers from home to away, the splits, I mean, it's ugly. They hit the ball. They hit 283 at home and only 245 away. That is the largest disparity in the entire league. Meanwhile, the Rays, yeah, their home isn't as much of a fortress as it was at the start of the season, but they're still nearly 20 games over 500 when they are playing at Tampa Bay. The Rays have also been excellent at the plate lately, so the fact that the Sox have been hot, you know what, the Rays can easily equal that out. Boston also has the 3rd worst bullpen ERA over the last month of play. That ERA combined is sitting at a 6.06. That is truly terrible. The Rays also own this matchup so far this season. They lead the season series 1-7, and they swept the Sox in a 4-game matchup at home earlier this season. I think they start this one off with another win. Let's do the final rundown here. We are going to start it off with Cubs money line versus the Giants. Then we've got Blue Jays Athletics over 8.5 runs. Orioles -1.5 versus the Angels. Phillies-Padres over 9 runs. And Rays money line versus the Boston Red Sox to close it out. Guys, that's going to do it for me here. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you did enjoy. Comment. Let me know what your favorite plays of the day are. And until next time, I will see you all very soon. Have a great day.